Hello everyone, welcome to another Mogi that I'm playing in. This time I decided to try the stat line 7-1 due to the general poorness of how the previous Mogi went and me just wanting to try something a little new. For those who don't know, a Mogi is a competitive format where you just play 12 races in a row. 13 technically. This one is practice, so this one does not count for the scores. But for the 12 races after that, you take the highest scores, and whoever you gain or lose MMR, sort of an arbitrary number, like leaderboard number, depending on how well you do. So 7-1 is, since even 2.3, 7-1's been a bit of an interesting stat. I think I wanted to roll Super Ring there, but I don't quite understand how Super Ring proration works right now at this point. So even if I rolled Super Ring there, I will definitely... You need a little bit of speed going into it. You can't just do like a Super Ring standing still as if you were to use a sneaker. But 7-1's an interesting stat line because it's a... I've heard people say that it has the same amount of ring boost as 5-speed 2-weight, which is... If that's true, that's really, really good because you have bonus top speed and bonus speed stacking, as well as 5-2's ring rate, so you're really flexible in that, because 5-2's ring rate is really good. I think I just recognize that as the roulette with a shoe in it. You can sort of realize what roulettes have what the more you play. Even if they're like randomized, they'll generally have the same type of items. It's just that the items will be in a random order. Yeah, so I had a little bit of speed there, and I'm pretty far behind first, so proration will let me get there. That's an unfortunate out of bounds. I don't know what's happening to me. I think I'm just not immediately comfortable with this stat as I haven't played it in a while. It's something I played quite a bit in 2.3. It's a really good counterpick stat. I guess overall, 7-1 has a tendency to crash out a lot more than something like 5-2. Anyway, only a 62 score. 75 is about an average score. It's like as if you would get a 4th or 5th place finishing. So yeah. So this is the actual first race. I cut ahead here because we were waiting for an admin to come into the Mogi. I'm trying to just like, I'm not even like trying to spin dash for first blood. I'm just trying to drive into it, which works sometimes, but I'm just getting bumped around by everyone. And the difference between 1-weight and 2-weight feels like it's so much greater than... I don't know if it actually is, but it feels like it's so much greater than the difference between other weights. Like, I feel like you just get bumped around endlessly on 1-weight, whereas 2-weight, at least you have a little bit of agency. That there wasn't really a weight issue, that was just sort of the bad positioning and ring management. Yeah, just because I have the same ring speed as 5-2, I'm pretty comfortable getting ring boxes here. And I unfortunately drove right into that. I think I was probably thinking that I was gonna adjust my line, but I just didn't do it in time. Here's the potential man rockets. But I'm sort of just bumping into everything, so it ends up kind of being a net zero. And then I just get bumped past that. That's sort of basically just GG there. If I don't get a item there, I have to take the long way here. Barren Badlands is a course I'd enjoy a lot more if the sides of the track didn't have stair jink in them. That sort of like kills it for me. It makes any track with like the stair jink tracks. Yeah, I'm gonna get last here, unfortunately. Any track with the stair jink, like transition between off-road and on-road, makes it really hard to use power items or speed items on because you're constantly just losing bits of control at a time, which is really bad if you want to make a comeback. The second race is Emerald Coast. I can't really give insight on votes here because I cut that all out. Blech, I can't speak today. I cut all of that out. I decided to use amps here, that's smart. I cut all of that out whenever I was editing this video, so I don't remember them because this was done, I believe, 6 days ago. And I'm sort of just catching up on this backlog of Mogis. So far going pretty good. This is a pretty nice, oops, bad springs, unfortunate. This is a pretty nice Class C map, I think. So honestly, 7-1 feels like honorary Class B, but you know, they're similar, so whatever. It's a good lightweight map, I want to say. Just having a lot of open space might seem like it's good for heavyweights because the turns aren't quite as harsh for them and they can make better use of their drifts. And I think that probably is true, but just having more space to move around and like a less congested highway basically feels like it benefits lightweights a lot too. So it feels like it can go either way. It just depends on how many zippers or big boxes or whatever on the map. This is also kind of a short level, so I'm sort of surprised it's only 3 laps as well. Feels like they increase the lap count on a handful of maps, but not like all of them, so yeah. There's some maps that just Hard Havoc and Dimension Disaster that I just don't particularly like driving on. That I think it's unfortunate they got extra laps. And then there's some other maps that I do like Emerald Coast that still only have 3 laps. I mean, it's not all bad, but Robotnik Coaster has 5 laps. I managed to get first blood here, but because I've drained all my rings, I'm like super slow right now. So we'll take a third. Considering like a lot of bad things could have happened there. I think I must have not have reacted whenever I saw this map getting picked because I usually do not want to play a lightweight on this level. The reason's just because. But yeah, this is basically why. You just get bumped around and then you get bumped into the cactus and you take damage. You have longer bird stun because you're lightweight. It's a huge pain in the ass. Very close quarter maps. While are probably good, like the lightweights are probably the best choice. Oh, that's an unfortunate. I'm surprised they didn't fix that with the fastball, but lightweights are probably, in theory, the best choice for most maps because of how much extra speed you get in general. But on a map that's like more congested like this one and has these hazards that you can easily get bumped into. Like, come on. Sebastian, you're in like 7th place. Why are you hitting me in jaws? Come on. I should have used double sneakers so I could get that ring box. I think that was like my first or second time ever taking that cut, so... But the fastball thing, it's like, if you fastball a little too late and you land on like the edge, like you'll bounce off the edge, but you'll keep fastballing as if you never hit the ledge, so... That's definitely something... It's something I've never really liked. There's a few areas where it comes up really often. It's hard to be... You have to be like really precise on when you fastball in order for that not to happen. I don't know how to describe it other than that, basically. I have like no speed here, so it's GG's. What to say? Next phrase is Aqua Tunnel. I think I'm talking about like not being able to find certain characters on the character chart because you have to like scroll through so many because a lot of them are shared on the same stat line now. Fortunately, I managed to get First Blood. Recently, First Blood's been like, I've been hardly ever getting it, so I've been mostly just playing it a little bit more safe, but I'm surprised, like, I'll get like 0.02 seconds on starting, and like 2/3 of the time that won't be good enough because someone else got a frame perfect start. And it's like, people are crazy at the First Blood now. I think me and Bones tied there for points in terms of getting that checkpoint. And don't go into that shortcut, obviously, because of proration, you're in first place. The ring boxes in this part of the map are honestly a really welcome change because this part's it's water, so it's harder to steer, and like it's like so easy to get bumped around into hazards with all the zippers and other people using them. Like I had a clip of me in first place on this at the end of this map, and then I got hit by like 5 different things. Like 2 people using invincibility, I got hit by a bomb I got knocked into. I got like insta-whipped by someone, and then I just instantly got last instead. And that was 2.3, so that mattered a lot. Somehow I went between the item boxes, you know, like... Or the ring boxes, excuse me. Ring boxes are, like... I'll be like so far to like the left or right of a ring box trying to go for an item box, but the ring box will just get collected anyway. I'm like 99% certain ring boxes just have a bigger hitbox. But at the same time, like a lot of times I'll just go right between a set of item boxes or even ring boxes, and it's like, how? Like, how am I getting so close to the ring box? How am I getting so close to the item box and still hitting the ring box? And then I have moments where I just somehow go right between a ring box. Ah, that was my fault. I want to say. I think I just put myself into a really vulnerable position. I was gambling on luck. We got the insta whip there, then I would have amps. I would have been out there before that happened. I don't know who this bug character is, but I think they're really nice. The main reason why... I think I was just like scrolling through random character stat lines and I saw this bug and I was like, I want to play this bug today. So I decided to play 7-1 today. That's a technique, a sort of tech. I'm hesitant to call it a tech. Also, I thought I was gonna go to the right of that. Unfortunately, you can't quite catch up there, so it's just gonna be more missed checkpoints. I actually completely forgot what I was yapping about just now. Damn. I was talking about like drifting or something like that. Unfortunate, because the 3 bananas there was between a sneaker and a super ring, and it was on a downward slope, so proration probably would have helped me there. I'm also getting bumped around by 9 weights, not great either. I consider, ooh, yeah, that's what happened to me. And I spun out for like an extra second too. I have no idea why that happened. That's I'm like freaking out in chat about it. Nothing, a lot of just like little bad things happened, and it's really hard to catch up on Class C. You don't really have a tether basically at all. The items are really good on, like the rocket shoes and sneakers are really good. And I do have the good rings, but those types of things only really get you so far, especially on mods that are easy to fall off like that one. I somehow get a first blood on point 11. Unfortunately missed that zipper, but doesn't end up mattering. This is definitely a map. This feels like a really challenging map to be super optimal on, actually. There's a lot of little things you gotta do with the zippers. It feels like it could be a runner, but at the same time, the shortcuts are also really strong as well. And there was also like Orbeez on the side that you can just get hit by. I've been whipped at that zipper a lot of times. Sucks. That was really jarring to see. I must have not been looking at the minimap, and I don't think I was looking at the minimap that time because I was like, wait, am I lapping Doggo? And no, I realized Doggo's just in front of me. But I just did that was just really weird because I did not see Doggo pass me at all. They were just suddenly in front of me. I'm surprised I don't see more traffic on the zipper itself. That's probably the easiest zipper to hit in the map, so like that zipper gets hella trapped. But the zipper right there, like almost nobody traps it, and I just see people ignore it. I just wonder why. To be fair, this map was illegal for like the entirety of 2.3, so a lot of people probably aren't super familiar with it. And I didn't even play it that much either, even though I think it's a fun map. Yeah, there's something I could really do to catch up with Seaside here. Unfortunate whip, but only lost 2 positions from it, so it's whatever. Let's see. I'm still in 6th, but I'm only down 1 point on 5th. Oop. We have a disconnect. I'm sorry, I try to edit all these out, but it's hard to like realize that they're all gonna happen, so I'm just gonna have to wait for them to come back. It doesn't take that long, fortunately. Okay, now we're going into the Azure City race. Another map that's theoretically just like super lightweight paper, but it's really easy to get bumped around in some sections. And also that zipper in particular, it's really hard to actually get a wave dash to click there due to the changes. I have a slightly better line than Doggo, so I can barely take first on that checkpoint. But I managed to go in between there. I hate that stair jink bridge too. It's sort of like the Gravitech bridges where you just lose all control of yourself. I need a spin dash, and like the whip stuff's not working. Yep, the Mogi tries to insta whip me too, but we both end up getting amps there. That's not something I do super often anymore. Trying to use, yep, that's what you get. Trying to use Ring Veil to take shortcuts, but in a case like that where I'm sort of like starved of options, I think it's hard to justify doing anything else. I try to let my rocket sneakers go before. On hindsight, I should have used a rocket sneakers, saved it, and then used that shortcut there. And then I would have rings going into this area rather than being starved. Something I never really thought about. That shortcut is not taken too often, just because it's in a pretty inconvenient spot for. I think I go for another ring bell here. It's not gonna work though. And I get blown up yet again. It feels like the super ring thing, but even more strict. It feels like you have to have a see of a wave dash or something like that. There, I do it that map or that lap, and I think I'm gonna get. I'm really fighting with Croatian here. Yeah, that's funny to see. Proration is something that I generally have a better feel of now, but I sort of just don't like the. I don't know if I've talked about this yet. Well, this will be like, if I've talked about it before, then whatever. But this will be the de facto discussion about proration, and then hopefully I will remember that I've talked about this and I won't bring it up again. But proration is a mechanic that I disagree with fundamentally because it's an entirely vibes-based mechanic. It requires so much trial and error on a mechanic of entering tripwires that was already pretty complicated to begin with. Like in order to take some Nisks, like old Pestilence Nisks, you needed to pump like a bunch of rings into your cart. You needed Nah, I got completely messed up there. I'm also surprised I didn't just fall down and die from that. Anyway, proration, it's not like a game killer, but it's a mechanic I don't really like that much, and it's annoying whenever I feel like I have enough speed to use something like a super ring. But I'm it's really hard to say what like the ranges are, because you just don't know in the middle of the race. You just have to look at the mini map, see how far away first is, sort of guess how many waypoints it is, and then make a decision there. That's just something I don't really like. I mean, you already have to be looking at your speedometer as well to make sure you hit that in order to get a Sonic Boom. The changes to Sonic Boom itself are welcome, though. I do like the increased timer that you get on Sonic Boom, which allows you to take shortcuts. But yeah, I'm driving really sloppily here. I'm just bouncing everywhere, and apparently you just can't take those from the side, which makes sense in hindsight, but not something I've really ever tried. I managed to get 4th here, I think so. Nope, I get 5th because I tried to whip Galactin like an idiot. I don't know why I did that. It's got Galactin close to me on the leaderboard. But it's like, you know, I understand they want players to be able to have the option to take shortcuts without items. But it's so like hyper specific. It's almost like, why even keep the mechanic in the first place? It feels like it would have satisfied them if they just made it so that if you have a speed item, you can go through shortcuts, and that's that. But I don't know. I personally wouldn't like it like that. I thought that way that NISCs were in 2.3 were personally fine. I understand it's a pain in the ass for mappers, but at the same time, it's only like a few small adjustments you have to do on maps. It just seems like a very complicated and convoluted situation or solution to a quote-unquote problem that was only really a quote-unquote problem on a few maps. And I thought NISCs in 2.3 were cool. Like, Pestilence was a sick map. Like, if you didn't want people to take the no item shortcut, that's what NISC stands for, by the way. Whenever I say NISCs, that's what I mean. If they didn't want people to take the no item shortcut, then I just, like, they should have just moved the tripwire, like, a little bit upward. Or onto the top platform rather than the bottom platform where you can do the tri-dash. The voltage is also a very consistent thing that goes into taking no item shortcuts as well. So I feel like they probably could have done something about voltage as well to make it a little weaker, so you couldn't just use it to take any cut. And alternatively, maybe there could be like zones where you're forced out of voltage, so that you can't just release it into a nearby checkpoint. I'm theory crafting like theoretical ideas of what would have happened, but the truth is that they're probably not going to make very many changes to the engine anymore, considering that they had to entirely redo time trials. I think that's like the big thing, is that if they were to make engine changes, like proration changes, whatever, like ring changes, then anything related to like speed or stats or whatever that's not like exclusive to PvP, like amps, that's going to...
Aren't I just incredible?
If they were to change any of that, they're going to have to redo time trials again. At least I think so. And I very much understand that that's just not something that they want to do. Okay, thank you. Sorry, talk to my brother. And it's something that a lot of people like are very mixed on pre-aeration. I think it's probably the most controversial mechanic added to ring racers. I got an insane first blood there, but I ended up getting sniped by the fake mark at the beginning as well. But the amps let me get a decent position anyway. Proration definitely doesn't kill the game for me, but I think like trial and erroring it is pretty annoying. Okay, that's my piece on proration. I will try not to bring it up unless it's very briefly. Like, screw proration for not letting me through this fire or whatever. Insane snipe bounced off the wall. I don't even know if I did it on purpose to bounce it off the wall. This also feels like a shorter track that might fit to be 4 or 5 laps. Not 5 laps, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because I like this track and it feels like it goes by really fast. I also switched to Mayor's out here just because it's a stat I'm more comfortable with, and I'm losing pretty hard this Mogi, so no more bug Mogi, unfortunately. Went for another snipe there. I have no idea where that bomb went, by the way. It like kind of bounced in the same way, but didn't land in the same spot. Unfortunate on the ring blocks. I thought I waited long enough. Yep, that's what happens. Like, I've definitely learned to just not bail like too early. And that was like a first to a 7th, so like a bunch of people are gonna pass me anyways. So, like,
thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's probably like I get 3rd or 4th there if I get good back bumps and don't get hurt. Lavender Shrine Classic. I go back to 7-1 here, but I don't have a bind for the bug, so you have to get this fuck-ass ball instead. Oh my goodness, that is my least favorite part of this map. You saw how like far away I was from that spring, and I still got hit by it anyway, and it's basically cost me the entire race because of it. I might be able to catch up, but that is really tilting, not gonna lie. I think the strategy for the opener of Lavender Shrine Classic is just to straight up survive, because it's so narrow and there's like a bunch of places where you can take damage or just get bounced backwards. And so I think just like trying to stay away from everyone or minimize like how bad the bumps are whenever you inevitably do get bumped by someone. I think that's like generally what you need to do on Lavender Shrine Classic. And if you're lucky enough, you might be able to break away or even just like get a 2nd or 3rd placement. And it's pretty hard to come back on this map. It's pretty hard runner, so you could probably get some sort of breakaway after the beginning, but the beginning is really tough. What am I saving this? Oh, yep. I bonked on the side there, so I might as well use it. But I think I was saving it for maybe this section so I could have enough speed for a cut. Fortunately, get a bar. And sort of surprised I didn't hit the spring there as well. And I managed to snag 2nd right there. I think landing me a C rank or something like that, probably. What round is it? My voice is getting kind of tired. Okay, next round is last one. I think like overall this Mogi didn't go too badly generally considering. Oh yeah, this is the Mogi that Mobi got stuck in the spring. They need to do something about the springs here. They're such a menace. This is a evil map. The last course is Wave Crash Dimension. I did win this course in practice in the last Mogi, using this stat line specifically as well. I think nowadays, this is one of those courses where I'll just like play whatever stat line I feel like playing, or that I've like specifically went out of my way to play. Just because it's a pretty balanced map all around. You got the wave dashes, you got the tri dashes, and the speed and the rings. Got a little bit of everything for all classes. So with the zippers at the end, I think it's probably a little lightweight favored. Insane back bump. And also not getting the... Again, the ring boxes are like so big, but just sometimes. And not getting a ring box there really stinks. I don't have any. I'm just starved of resources by then. The better ring management means I wouldn't have died there, but just unfortunate the way it was. Just barely didn't get that tri dash. I think one of the biggest things that are separating like intermediate player from more advanced players is that it's just the application of tri dashes and really knowing your the drift spark rate on the characters that you play. And brake drifting also helps a lot if you want to oh, yep, you got destroyed there. Brake drifting also helps a lot because you could just squeeze out a spark a little bit. If you're just like barely not about to get a spark for a tri dash, you could just brake drift a bit, you can squeeze a little bit more charge. And then even though you're slowing down a little bit, it saves a lot of time because of the tri dash again, you get a smoother landing that way. Even though you're slowing down because you're brake drifting. But anyway, that was my last thoughts. I'm gonna go eat dinner and then probably record another one. So thank you for watching and see you next time.